I think we're at time. So I'm going to open things up. Just make sure everything's broadcasting on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Just want to welcome everybody to our office hours. We're going to focus on DealHub today. We're going to talk about DealHub 2.0 and really great to have a few people here on the Zoom. I almost said WebEx on the Zoom with us. And,
Blast from the
really
past.
looking forward to if you have any questions or you have any feedback or anything, feel free to come off mute and chat with us or drop it in the chat. We'll pick it up there.
That's right.
But, we are also broadcasting this on LinkedIn, so anybody could scroll by it. So if you have a question that's pertaining to your company or something like that, it's always good to just kind of anonymize what you're asking about. Um, so I think we always kind of like to start with before we dive into the tech stuff, talk about like a simple discussion point. And I was just chatting with Brenton about this uh post I saw earlier on LinkedIn. And of course I can't find the original post that I saw, but somebody posted about, basically that Salesforce has announced that no longer be hiring engineers due to the immense gains they made with AI. And so I was like,
Yes.
and we were kind of chatting about that. And I was like, wow, I don't want to go just based on the one source on LinkedIn, right? So I did see that Salesforce Ben posted about it too. I don't know, Brenton, I think you mentioned maybe you had seen another comment and then that maybe puts a slight on this or uh
Yeah. I couldn't find the reference, but in passing, I had heard that Salesforce did announce they're going to basically halt all engineering hires. But then I also heard that some organizations who have already claimed that they're going to halt hires for engineering still have job posts open for things like coding positions and things like that. So
yeah.
it will be interesting to see how it truly unfolds. But really, the technologies that are now and applications that are now available, Cursor, Love Dev, I've had the opportunity to use them in a few different projects, and they are really impressive and definitely eliminate the need for uh, hiring another body because it enables you to be able to build simple applications and things like that. So it is interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like at this point right now, it's obvious to those of us that are not experts as developers or experts as writers. But like I'm kind of like more of like I consider myself like a jack of all trades. Like I can do a lot of things, but I can't do them extremely well. So um, but heck, uh, I can program software now using
Yeah,
AI, right?
that's
Like
right.
it's just like this little assistant sitting on your shoulder. So it's it's definitely opening the doors for people to do stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Ryan, before we dig into
Mm-hmm.
the topic or anything, I'm still actually seeing pre-live for the event on LinkedIn. Do you mind just double checking the
You sure are. Okay, there we go.
cool? Yep, seeing it now. Awesome. There we go. Hi everyone on LinkedIn. Now that we have you connected in,
All
we're all
right.
having a great day.
Yeah, great. So of course we were celebrating too early. We almost got it all right. So if you're on LinkedIn, you're seeing this and you want to chat with us live in the comments of the event, there is a link to the Zoom. And we'd certainly love to have you here to have a live discussion about DealHub. Cool.
That's right. All right. Well, with that, I think I don't have any follow-up items from any of our previous sessions. Maybe we'll just kind of transition straight into the topic we were thinking about reviewing today, and that was DealHub 2.0. And especially for those who are joining us in the Zoom session, we'd love to hear if you have any stories or experiences with the new 2.0 interface. But as many administrators for sure are familiar with, a few months ago, DealHub started to roll out a brand new user interface for looking at proposals and opportunities, helping sales reps kind of manage the proposals that they're sending out to clients and prospects. And so we thought today we would just take the session to review the look and feel, talk about some things that we have found beneficial, and share even some tips and tricks that might not be obvious, but uh, definitely have found their place and we use consistently across different environments. So with that,
Yeah,
I could
and while
start.
you're pulling it up, Brenton, so I think one thing that we have perspective on is we've seen a lot of our clients transition, right? So, I know that if you're sitting within your company and you're the sole admin, trying to evaluate, well, does it make sense to go to 2.0 or not, on top of all the other things you have to do, can be challenging. So we can kind of just share the highlights, right? And then also talk about, you know, there's probably no downsides to doing it. So
No, no, and that's been a consistent thing I've observed as different organizations do activate the DealHub 2.0 interface, is that there haven't been downsides. The activation to change the look and feel of the platform is near instantaneous. You hit the button and it goes live, which is really nice. You're not waiting for minutes for a refresh. It really comes on right away. And so here we are. This is um, the 2.0 interface. And what I like the most about the 2.0 interface is that no longer do I have to transition across multiple pages in order to find opportunities or proposals that I'm working with. So I'll even just start with the general overview of what the layout is. When users first log into DealHub, they land on the proposals page, and this is your main work area for finding the different opportunities that you've synced into DealHub from your CRM system. This is where you're going to actually navigate to the individual proposals or versions of proposals that you're working through, which might have different offers available for your customers. There are some great filtering options, whether it's by some advanced filters that DealHub has introduced with a 2.0 interface. But there's also search capabilities. You can easily search and review opportunities that relate to specific accounts. You can also have leverage the full search bar and look for key terms and phrases. Um, but overall, the UI, it's really slick, it's really responsive, and it makes it so you don't have to jump around as much as you did in the previous UI of DealHub. So that's the super high level overview, and from here we'll just kind of start looking at key areas and talk through some of the benefits they provide. So I was thinking, Ryan, do you want to point us in the direction of one area that you want to talk about for a moment?
sure. Should we talk about filters?
Perfect place to start. Yes.
So yeah, if you click in there, we were actually doing some brainstorming maybe a week or two ago in terms of how people might use these filters. And so, usually sales folks are managing their pipeline and their opportunities in the CRM, whether it be HubSpot or Salesforce. But when you have something out like a deal room, if you're familiar with Deal Hub, you have a deal room out there and you're waiting for signature from a customer. One thing that you want to make sure of is you want to make sure that nothing expires, right? So you can add a filter to make sure that you're seeing like any deals that are going to expire in the next 7 days, because you may have your opportunity set to close 20 days from now, right? But the proposal defaulted to 30 days and it's going to expire in 7 days. And the last thing you want to do is for somebody to go in to go sign it and boom, the link's dead, right? Or it's not signable at that moment. So it can be a
Hmm.
good idea to just have that to kind of audit what you have sitting out there that you might need to go refresh.
That's right. And I work with organizations that live and die by the quarter, right? And so being able to create a filter that says, show me all the deals that expire within this quarter or outside of a particular quarter, that can help to make sure that something doesn't expire before it's supposed to close at that deadline. And yeah, really convenient views
Mhm.
become available here. A few other filters that we found to be really helpful include the ability to sort on not only the account name, but the opportunity name. So if you're part of the deal desk or renewal team, maybe it's a lot of noise to come into Deal Hub and see all of the different opportunities, whether they're for new business or expansions, because your
Mhm.
job is around renewals. And so by leveraging the filter for opportunity name, this can look at the proposal names and opportunity names themselves. So if you have renewal as your filter here, I don't have any in this environment. I do in another though. Now, when
There
you
you
log
go.
in, you can jump straight to that filter and only review the opportunities that relate to renewals, and everything else is kind of pushed out of your purview.
In Brenton, on the left hand panel, that renewal opportunities that you clicked on, is that a saved filter that you built?
That's right. Yeah, and we
Okay.
actually was it 2 weeks ago through LinkedIn. I posted a whole video about how to use the advanced save filter capabilities here in DealHub 2.0. But you're exactly right. You have the ability to take any of these custom filters that you're building out and save them. And when you do save them, you can choose, are these going to be my own filters or some that I want everybody in the organization to be able to leverage? Um, and you have some nice capabilities for placing some icons on it, so it's
Yep.
easily recognizable. Um, you can do a lot of nice little things, rename. Not only that, but you can always take a filter that you start with, maybe make a few updates, and then you can save that filter, another version of that filter.
Yes.
So that's a really nice way to enhance existing groupings that come out of the box, or maybe filters that have been shared with everybody in the company, and then you want to just put your own little twist, your own little spin on them.
Nice. Can you just for my edification, can you start a new filter and then add status?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
filter by status? Because I think that's another one that would be, I'm imagining, right? Like I'm sales ops, I'm rev ops, I'm rolling out 2.0 to my company. I'd probably pre-build a few filters. And so status, yeah. Um, I could, I probably don't want to see one, like those are taken care of, right? But
Hmm.
if something's rejected, maybe, or I don't know, there could be some that need action, right?
Yep.
Like expired, failed to sync, recalled, rejected. Like those would be, I'd want to be able to see that at a glance and know, oh, I need, as a rep, I need to go take action. I mean, of course, I got an email when it got rejected and all that, but
Yeah.
there's a lot going on. So it could be a good, like once a day check,
I
health
love
check
that.
on everything. Yeah.
Yes. And then if it's already filtered down to those statuses that matter,
Yeah.
maybe I'll even take away ready to be sent just for as an example. I don't have any that fit the mold here, but
You're the perfect rep. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That's right. My double environment is perfection.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, instead of having to maybe scroll through many statuses, especially if you take the approach of not grouping everything by opportunity and just looking at a flat list of all the proposals,
Mm-hmm.
a status filter like this would definitely help to rise the ones that need attention straight to the surface. So this
Yeah.
is a really nice one. I like that too.
What is the what's the little, you know, comment bubble next to the proposal name? Can you click into that on each line?
Ah, so this is a new enhancement also with 2.0 that allows for you to see any deal talk comments that are occurring. So deal talk, and I'll just launch into an opportunity right now. Deal talk is an kind of an internal messaging solution that allows for the rep to converse with anybody else on the team who has access to Deal Hub, and allows for that conversation to take place within the confines of that proposal. And that's better than sending a totally separate email and referencing a proposal name or customer name or anything. And you can actually just inline start chatting, conversing with your teammates right here on the proposal itself. This content stays internal to your organization. It doesn't get shared to the prospect. But this is also a really powerful functionality for organizations that have deal desks, right? The
Yeah.
rep needs to converse with somebody who maybe they are the only ones that have permissions to make certain changes on a proposal. Well, then deal talks are a really great way to be able to say, on this particular proposal, here's my question that I need help with.
Right, right.
So,
And well, you're so that action that you just did. So just to talk about the one thing that takes getting used to is right now in 1.0, you always have the breadcrumbs across the top left, right? And so you can
mm,
always like to go back to look at all your proposals for that opportunity. You click on the opportunity. The action's different here. You hit proposals and now you're back here, right? So it does take some retraining of the brain. There's advantages to this, right? Because it dumps you back here, and now you can hop off and do something else, right? But it
absolutely. Yep.
definitely takes getting used to. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. At first, we weren't the biggest fans of that, but I have completely changed my tune. Now
yeah,
I'd prefer this experience over the legacy one for sure.
yeah. And do
Yep.
you have any deal rooms in your sandbox?
I do at least one.
Okay, okay.
um, but yeah,
Well,
that's
this is
another great.
nice. Yeah, because it isolates like one of the most important aspects of the Deal Hub deal, right? Is when you send out a deal room. Sorry to cut you off.
No, not at all. So yeah, this is a completely new view. It also has filters. You know what? I haven't tried. Let me just see. Can you save filters on the deal room view? You can. So you can
Nice.
also have
Yes.
custom filters here on the deal room view. So if there's a certain type of deal room you always want to be able to take a look at, all that same capability is available as you saw it over in proposals. What the clients I've been working with like the most about this deal room view is it is a much cleaner location to go observe what the current status of deals that are in the client's hands. They can quickly see, oh, the buyer has signed, so now it's just on us. They can see the notes. They can right away jump straight in to grab the PDF, the actual proposal that was getting created,
Hmm.
and even have the ability to just jump right in and sign the deal room from that dashboard. So no longer are they having to go find their email or other ways to get into the deal room, but instead they can actually just navigate, especially when you have a lot of deal rooms to look through because it's an active month or quarter. One nice clean landing spot.
Definitely.
Um, but yeah, and some of the default filters such as expiring soon and pending my signature, like these are already some of the key filters that you're going to want to leverage out of the box. That definitely help out. Yep.
What about the approvals tab? You probably don't have any approvals.
I don't.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have some in this one. No, I've already cleared them all out in these environments. Um, but yeah, the approvals tab, another great enhancement where it's not as disjointed. It's really easy for those who are responsible for approvals to just jump right in, have some filtering capabilities again, and being able to say, well, these deals need my attention. So it's a really nice dashboard when there are approvals ready to go.
Absolutely.
I'll say one of my favorite enhancements on the DealHub 2.0 is the opportunity statuses being presented.
Oh
So
yeah.
previously in the older UI, it was kind of uh, always a surprise. Trying to figure out, is this a deal that I can actually open and interact with? Because the default functionality is if the Salesforce or HubSpot, you have closed that deal or that opportunity, it's locked, right? And that's the way you want it because
Hmm.
everyone has signed, everyone's made their agreements, and that is the the contract to move forward with. But there are many times where, from an administrative perspective, you want to be able to QA an issue or review items. And so now you no longer have to guess, oh, is this the opportunity that's still open that I could run tests on or review? Now it's presented in clear text in this opportunity grouping view exactly what the stage is for all of these opportunities. I believe this syncs with Salesforce and HubSpot on a daily basis, if I'm not mistaken. There might be the opportunity to enhance that to refresh more frequently, but for sure, it's every day the status is update so that if the deal did close overnight, then the next day the team would be able to see, oh, this deal is now closed.
Nice. Have you messed around much with the layout settings?
That's a great point. I have not, and just to show,
Yes. It's in the
oops,
actually, you know what? I have it pulled up on a editable version. I could share real quick.
sure.
If you
Yeah, go ahead.
This is, you know, more to kind of show the customize I was about to say customizability, the ability to configure what you see in both of those panes, right? So proposals and deal rooms. Here it's got the default. It's really nicely done how it shows it to you as a preview. But aside from what's already shown, like you can number one hide things that aren't important to your organization. Like so you could hide all this stuff if you wanted to. Um, and definitely got to keep that. And then you can add other things like opportunity stage, opportunity currency. So, and then you can save that and it updates it for everybody. You can do that
Sure.
both on the proposals and the deal room. So it's not limited to just what you see there on the page.
Yes. Yes, especially if there are preferences, being able to see who created the proposal versus something else, then you could bring that further up in the stack and have that as one of the first fields that gets reviewed.
Yep.
Yeah, the flexibility of that is a really nice touch, all
I'm
the way
gonna
down to the width too.
yep. I'm gonna maybe pop it back over to you because I can't recall what you were sharing. You were I think
Yeah,
you're is there anything else to cover about the interface itself?
I think, well, two other items that come to mind is that the search is really helpful.
Oh,
That
it's
might
much
be
better.
obvious, but the amount of information that shows in the preview for the search really
Yes.
helps you understand the opportunity this proposal is associated with, statuses, things like that. But it is a pretty it's a nice global search. So if there is a specific term such as renewal, as we looked at earlier, of course, I chose the environment that doesn't have that one. Maybe you want to understand which deals have been duplicated or replicated, right? You could just search for the word underscore copy,
Mm,
and really quick you could see get a understanding of all of the proposals that have been replicated, meaning that maybe there were some minor tweaks made to them, and these are probably the more current proposals that you actually want to be reviewing, things like that. But you could be searching for the proposal IDs, the account names, creators. I mean, every field is searchable.
Yeah.
Um, so that's nice. And then the next thing would be the integration of DealStream. So in the past, DealStream was a separate browser extension that was an exploration to actually get installed on every sales rep's
Yes.
browser,
Yes.
both for finding it on the like Chrome store. That wasn't bad, but there was always an extra step of actually connecting it to the DealHub environment. Well, now that all goes away, and the DealStream becomes available inside of the DealHub interface itself. So now, and just as a reminder for those who aren't familiar with DealStream, this is a live look into how uh, the organization that you sent that proposal to is interacting with your deal room. Who's opened it? Who's passed it along to maybe another team member that you weren't aware would need to review the content of a contract? Um, who's actually downloading the proposals, and then of course the our favorite is uh, the success when the deal actually gets signed, and you start seeing confetti and all the good emojis to indicate, yeah, you've won that deal.
Yeah.
Um, and the deal stream's great because it does also have um, manager capabilities built in. So if your user structure is kind of does have managers in it, then the manager will be able to see the deal stream activity for anybody under them if you choose to activate that feature. So now managers can also quickly understand, oh, what is the status? Is the prospect actually interacting with us, or has it gone dormant? You get a little preview into like what's going on with those deals.
Yeah. And like you said, like the deal stream is like one of the most powerful features for a salesperson. I know that because I often act as a salesperson for our company, right? And like seeing real time, did somebody open it? Did they send the deal room to another person in the organization? Getting all that real time feedback is amazing because like there's all these touch points in between when you sent the proposal and when they sign, and usually you're just in the dark. And so before, like you said, it was a hoop you had to jump through. You had to get the Google Chrome extension and then hope that like your company doesn't have security settings or something that prevent
That's
you
right.
from doing that, right? So now it's just like the value that it delivers, that you're able to illustrate to your salespeople is so much more evident, you know.
Absolutely. And even, if there is an activity, that's a great indication that maybe the recipient, maybe their mail had some antivirus or something running that blocked that link or that message. So,
Yes,
um, you can help to prevent some delays in the sales cycle too.
absolutely.
Yep. Trying to think. I mean, those were all the major items, and everything on the screen really does do something, and it's intuitive as well, right?
Yeah.
Clicking on a company name, now you're only going to be viewing proposals and opportunities associated with the company. The filters are great, extensible. Yeah, deal stream built into DealHub 2.0, that really makes it that much more powerful as well.
I would say it's so intuitive that we've seen companies intentionally or not, they've transitioned to 2.0 by clicking it in the admin console without communication to the sales team, just, because you could overdo it, right? Like feeling like you need to train and prepare the salespeople for this interface change, but the salespeople never blinked an eye, right? Like they just kept trucking with DealHub as it was. So, like, I do feel like it's really low risk, low friction to make the shift.
Agreed.
Um, I mean, walking the sales team through basically what we just did. It was a great, probably primer to like send them a 15-minute video that they can view or do a quick training for the sales team on it, just so they're prepared. But then you just click the button. You don't have to do anything else, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Perfect.
Cool.
Well, yeah, and as always, anyone has questions or success stories, definitely they share them with us. And just in case, if anyone that has joined us on the Zoom has any questions or anything, please feel free to come off mute. We're happy to entertain anything you may have. And as you're doing that, I always like to try to give a glimpse into what's new. And for this week, it's kind of a small enhancement, but for administrators, it's actually been a good one. Back over on the kind of admin side of DealHub. Oops. One of the things that was taking a few extra clicks would be, let me get into a playbook that has some stuff. Bear with me. Here we go. When you expanded a product assignment rule, there are multiple sections of the product assignment rule. And one of the most important ones, or the ones you work with the most, would be the kind of the one that was always kind of collapsed up, and that's the proposal attributes section. Just in the past week, it's been rolling out through all DealHub accounts that by default, this no longer is collapsed by default, but rather expanded right away, which makes it really nice and quick when you say, oh, I'm jumping in. I know what product I need to work with. I know what assignment rule I'm in. No longer do you have to actually slow play or expand out all the attributes. They are expanded by default, allowing for you to just jump to the one that you want to work with. And if you ever need to a little bit more real estate, you can collapse it still.
I love that. I love that.
So a small win. It's definitely been something that has been messaged a few times, and we're thankful to see that the product team was able to roll that feature out.